feel the best way to sort of like decide which offer to let go of and which one to pick. This does not allow me to get in a 1 crore rupees debt. San Jose State University was one of them that I felt was so rigid in their ways that I was like, it was a cheap university, like a bigger scholarship than I thought in the beginning I would get.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Abroad Unplugged. We are here with another episode, and today we are sitting down with Arushi, who was inspired by Friends TV show and always wanted to make it to New York City. She chose to study at NC State University over Ivy League school. She has finally made it to the city of her dreams. An entrepreneur with a heart for change, her work in the non-profit sector has shaped her both personally and professionally. Join us as we explore her incredible journey, her career in the US, and how she has explored her dreams into reality. Arushi's story is a reminder that following your dreams can take you to unexpected yet amazing places. From her academic journey to building her career in New York City, she has shown us what it means to take that bold step towards your goal. Hey Arushi, thank you so much for joining Abroad Unplugged podcast today. So we are recording episode 2, and thank you for giving us the time. So let's roll into the conversation. Tell us a little about yourself.
Hi Vaishali, thank you for having me here. So I am Arushi. I moved to US in 2021. Originally in India, I'm from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. I did my undergrad in engineering in information technology, and that's kind of where I realized that like my passions were not aligning with my degree, which is like the case with a lot of engineers a lot of times. So I was doing a lot of like these leadership related activities and stuff like organizing events. I was an entrepreneur for 3 years in the domain of ed tech. So all of that kind of led me to this decision that okay, I want to like have a formal degree, and that was also my chance to sort of step out from Bhopal because I never moved from home for my undergrad. So doing a master's was kind of always the plan. So that kind of like got me to the decision of applying for a master's in engineering management. I applied to quite a few universities. Ultimately, North Carolina State University was, according to me, the most like generous and well-suited offer for me with respect to the scholarship, the cost of living and stuff. So that's how I ended up in Raleigh, North Carolina. I lived there for 3 years, did my master's degree, graduated last year in 20. It was actually December 2022. But then yeah, and I recently moved to New York City like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. You mentioned that you got offers from some great Ivy League universities. So, was there a specific reason of choosing NC State over those universities' offers, or the curriculum was more suited for what you were looking for in NC State, or was there any other reason?
Yeah, so it was actually a few different reasons. And I feel the best way to sort of like decide which offer to let go of and which one to pick is doing a very rational pros and cons and like cons analysis, because it got so confusing because as you said, getting that Ivy League offer was not something that I was expecting at all. And when that came, it got me wondering that I've gotten something that I never thought I could. So is it the right decision to let go of it? Maybe I can just find a way and pay off the tuition. But then I was like, no, every person has their very strict, I feel, morals that they run on. And I was like, no, my integrity, my morals, whatever you want to call it, like this does not allow me to get in a 1 crore rupees debt, because that it would have been a huge student loan. So then I basically weighed in all the pros at NC State. So they were giving a very good scholarship. It was a new course. So I, as an entrepreneur, saw there was scope in terms of me being able to make an impact on the program. They sounded very receptive of students' ideas and stuff. When I was talking to them, the idea that I got was not that this is a super established and a super rigid course, because there are a few like that have been running for like 40 years, 50 years, and they really couldn't care any less about innovation. They're set in their ways and stuff. Like San Jose State University was one of them that I felt was so rigid in their ways that I was like, it was a cheap university. So, but for me, like personally, that was the reason that I picked NC State. So the scholarship was good. Raleigh as a city, cost of living wise, was amazing. It was well within my budget. It was a university town, and I was also looking for like a very good college experience. Because I told you I never left Bhopal for my undergrad. So I was like, maybe it'll give me a chance to live like a college life, a chill, relaxed college life without the burden of having to worry about major expenses. Coming to US itself is a huge expense no matter what city you go to. So I was like, at this point, I made that promise to myself. So it's a very funny timing that we're doing this now. So I made a promise to myself then that you're going to live in New York City one day. So just let go of this offer for now. Like, this is not the right timing to do it. And you also kind of that like your instincts, like, is this the right call or not? So that's how I was like, okay, the logical aspects of NC State were winning for me, like, more than like anything. And it worked out, like, it turned out to be an amazing decision because, like, as I told you, the department in fact was very like appreciative and supportive of my ideas. So I got to become like an ambassador of my program, that I was given like a full tuition waiver for my last semester. So the kind of impact my YouTube channel could make for their program, they always appreciated that. And I was obviously only giving my honest opinions on my channel and stuff, but the department sort of benefited from that. So I think it was a win-win because, like, I ended up getting like a bigger scholarship than I thought in the beginning I would get. And the memories I made, how relaxed it was, like, as I was telling you, it was not a very big city that I have to like rush around on, like, or stuff. So it was like I enjoyed it. I had great memories and stuff, and like it all worked out.
So I've also heard from your videos that you also got acceptance from University of Manchester, which is in UK. So why you chose US over UK?
That is a very interesting question, actually, because I don't know if I've ever mentioned that on my YouTube channel, but I even paid the deposit for University of Manchester. I had, it was, I think, 1100 pounds or something. So it was more than 1 lakh rupees. And it was around the time when I was not getting a slot for the US visa anyway. It was, I think, a very close call because university, I always funnily say this, that University of Manchester is my alternate life because I got into that university's 3 different courses in like a span of 2 years. So ultimately, it all came down to, I think, again, like a logical set of thinking that in terms of the return on investment, I thought US would be a better idea for STEM education. And while I was never really passionate about doing the engineering degree, I felt that if I have done it anyway, I should take advantage of the fact that putting in the same kind of money, I can maybe get more returns from studying in US. Because I mean, my ideas for UK in the beginning, to be honest with you, I think were more aesthetic than logical. They were like, I think I want to live in an English town. I think that was again because of some preconceived notions at that time, because I had gone to Croatia when I was in my undergrad for an internship. So around that time, I always thought, wow, living in Europe would be really cool. And if I can find a way to make that happen, so that led to that UK is a good country. It's an English speaking country. Back then, I was not aware of the practical challenges that students there have to face. Like, if I feel between US and UK, if US's job market is bad, UK's is like even harder for Indian students just
Yeah.
because of like the number of, and I mean, I'm seeing my like, sister struggling with that right now. With all her batchmates, it's harder to find jobs there. And because she had a commerce degree, so it was very different for her. But for me, it was like that if I have a STEM degree, and one of my friends actually funnily just suggested that you're so obsessed with going to UK, why don't you consider USA as well? And she was super into coming to US only. So I actually took her very random advice that she sent me on an Instagram voice note. And that's how I started applying to US universities, only to realize in the next month or two that was actually the best logical decision to make at that time.
Yep. I fully agree. One of my cousin recently moved to UK for his studies, and I also gave him the same guidance for the job perspective, because in the end, everyone is looking for a job after their course, and it's much harder in UK.
I mean, yeah, I think it's harder and also unfair because I think the talent is there with the students there. They're so immensely talented.
Yeah.
They've got the skill sets, and then you'll not be able to find a job that you deserve just because of the job market that you're in. I think that's just extremely unfair to the students.
Yeah, I can totally understand. Moving on, I've noticed that you mentioned that when you are an entrepreneur and you've worked in a lot of NGOs back in India before moving to US. So, do you think that that really helps in when you're drafting your SOP for applying to Ivy League universities?